Hello, everyone. Becca here. I am here to share day 27 of my story. This is nuts as we come to the ending of this 30-day telling of my story on Facebook Live. Um, it's sort of like the ending kind of came up really quickly, but it's been really interesting, this process for me, particularly, hopefully for you too. But it's just seeing how much my entire life has shifted. I've mentioned before, healing the relationship between my body and myself drastically impacted so many other facets of my life. And so doing these 30 days kind of highlighted that. So I'm sort of feeling the ending of this 30-day storytelling. So the point of this whole thing is to share a side that I didn't tell anyone. I was very good at hiding it. And so I want to put that sort of on display. A lot of people are impacted by body shame and body terrorism, myself included. A large part of my story involves dieting and self-shaming and hating my body and wanting to change it and wanting to fix it. And I didn't quite realize how many places that impacted my life until coming onto the other side of it and partly telling the story. Today, I want to talk about sort of the overwhelmment piece, the sort of confusion piece that came with me sorting out my food and my body. Growing up, I was told what to eat. I was kind of given these parameters that I had to fit into. And so there weren't a lot of options for me. It was kind of like, this will work, I'll eat it. You know, it was very cut and dry, very black and white. My entire life, you know, there was never an opportunity of freedom to choose. If it was freedom to choose, it was between just a couple options that fit the criteria. And I remember whenever I let dieting go, whenever I let trying to use food as a means to fix my body go, I became very overwhelmed with all of the choices. There are a lot of foods to eat. I'm not sure if you know this, but there are just, I remember somebody said to me, if you had every option of food on a banquet table, and it was a relentless table, you know, it kept refilling, and you could eat anything with no consequence to your body, what would you choose? And that was the first really realization of how confusing it all was, how confused I was, how overwhelmed I was by it. Because I'm like, holy crap, I've never had the opportunity to look at everything before. Let's look at everything. There's so much. There's so many different cultures, so many different flavors, so many different textures. Like, there's so much food to enjoy. But I was just limited and kind of navigated. I was guided to different choices that weren't my own. So whenever I sort of was feeling very confused, there were a couple months there where I was really toddling on the confusion. I was like, okay, you know what? I know some things that I like, so let's get clear on what I do like. And so that kind of, I went from being really clear about what to eat when I was growing up and being told, to then being super confused. And then I can't get from confusion to clarity in the sort of mindset of confusion. And so that's kind of when I knew, okay, let's get really clear on what do I know that I like. I know that I like to eat salads. I know that I like bagels. I know that I like sweets. I know that I like fruit. So I'm getting like more and more information and just focusing on the clarity. And the more that I worked out, the more that I navigated with it and played with it, the clearer and clearer it got, the easier it was to stay in that clarity mindset. The same thing happened to me whenever I left teaching. I was a math teacher in New York City for 5 years and did schooling leading up to that my whole life. And same kind of thing. Like, I was told what to do. I was told the assignments to do, how to do it, how to write lesson plans, what to teach. It was all just sort of like my days were fed to me. And so when I realized I wanted to be my own boss and left that job and opened up my days, I create my own schedule, which that has never happened before. And so that was just that was the same kind of thing. It was like when I let go of dieting, but in my career. Same kind of thing. Very overwhelmed with how I wanted to spend my day, what I wanted to do with it, something that I wasn't anticipating when I left my job. But it was very a paralleled experience as when I let go of dieting. But again, I can't stay in the confusion. You know, today I was doing work at a lunch spot, and I very quickly realized, like, I need to get clear on where I want to go, because there's so many places to do work. There's so many places to eat lunch. Let's get really clear on what I want right now. So anytime I am in confusion, it's not, I don't like the way confusion feels in my body. I don't like the way that it makes me experience the world. And so immediately I get into clarity. Okay, sometimes not immediately. As quickly as possible, I get into, what am I clear about? So today when I was looking for lunch, I was clear that I wanted a salad. I was like, "Ooh, yeah, that I can have anything I want. I want a salad today for lunch. Where's my favorite salad place?" And so that was kind of where I went after that. But we walk around confused in our lives all the time for various reasons. People are shouting different things at us and sort of giving us these different messages that might not be in harmony with what we want. We sort of then feel this confusion and discomfort. So I invite you today to get really, really clear on what it is that you want. You might not have ever been asked that question before, but there's no better time to ask that question of yourself. What is it that you want? Let's get really clear. And if that is something that results in feeling more powerful, stepping up into life that in a fuller way, feeling more confident in my body, letting go of food fixation. I know that there's more here for me, but I don't know what. That's getting clear on things too, even if there's still some confusion. If any of those answers are answers that you have after what do I want, reach out because I can help you. I have a coaching group that is starting in January and an online course that is starting in February. So if you just want to chat about what it means to work with me and what that looks like, reach out and let me know. Get really clear though on what it is that you want, and we can get clear on if we're meant to work together. So today I hope you are finding clarity wherever you are, getting really, really clear on what do you want to eat, what do you want to do, how do you want to spend the rest of the night. Clarity feels better than confusion, so stay there. And truthfully, you can eat anything you want. So open up the realms a little bit and see if that helps you get even more clear on what you want, if there's something outside of your normal scope of things that you want to eat or do. Sending you all tons of love. I'll be here tomorrow for day 28.